very good morning and thank you for waking up to Sunrise at Sea here on CTV. Welcome to our Wellness, Beauty and Lifestyle segment. My name is Agi Oase and today we are talking about high blood pressure, or you can actually call it hypertension. And joining me today to actually deliberate on this, give us insight about the understanding of what hypertension is, what causes it, and also the age groups that actually are perceptible to this kind of ailment is Mrs. Peace Chambade, who works with Noland, Uganda. Good morning, madam, and thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. Good morning.
To start with, what is Noland, Uganda, and what do you do?
I am a consultant with Noland, Uganda, and we deal in regenerative medicine that goes direct to the cell to alleviate whatever is wrong with the cell. As we all know, the whole body is made out of cells.
Yeah.
So if you touch the cell, you know you have the root cause of whatever diseases a person is suffering.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned, we talked about this off air, and you talked about you are a health consultant. So let's talk about high blood pressure or hypertension today. And for the benefit of the viewer out there, would love to understand wholesomely what is high blood pressure.
High blood pressure is the pressure of saturating blood when the saturating blood in the system, when your heart beats, it pushes blood into your arteries and all your vessels. So high blood, it is the force that the blood is being pushed. When it is high, that's when it becomes high blood pressure.
Okay, and it does have its categories. Now, for me, a lay person and every other person out there, we may not understand these categories. So we'd love to know in detail the categories of high blood pressure.
There are many categories of blood pressure. Every person has blood pressure. Yeah. But some of them is high, some of it is normal, some of it is pre-pressure, and some of it is gastrointestinal, gestation pressure.
Gestation pressure. So what causes hypertension?
Hypertension is mainly caused because of the blockages that are in the system, for example, high cholesterol or age. Some of it come because of age, some of it come because of a person is overweight, and most of it comes because of the lifestyle a person is living.
Lifestyle.
Yes.
And you talked about age, you talked about lifestyle, you talked about size. And there are any other causes besides that? Because we've actually seen where you find kids as probably at the age of around, even when they are teenagers, even when they are very little, you find they actually have high blood pressure. What would cause that?
There could be stress. When a person is having a disorder of sleep, also sleep deprivation, or lack of exercises, or something wrong with the heart or thyroid. When you're tired, you have a kidney disease. There are so many other symptoms which we cannot exhaust today. Yes.
Okay, and which person out there is at a risk of getting high blood pressure?
Most people who are at risk are the people who don't do any activity, like exercises, or the people who are very fat, and the people who drink alcohol excessively, and the people who actually are stressed all the time.
But you see, when you talk about stress is inevitable. You might go to work, you have a lot of workload, or even at home, maybe you have problems at home, like with your family. So you find stress is not something that you can do away with in this life. So how can someone go about that so that they can prevent themselves from getting high blood pressure due to stress?
If you are thinking about something that is stressing you, you are better off thinking about it moderately, and then let it go. Because once you keep at it, thinking about it so much, it doesn't even change it. So that is what causes the risk. When you keep thinking about something so much, instead of finding solution, talking to someone, or finding something that makes you let your mind go off the stress.
And isn't there any medication that someone can take if they have stress to at least, help calm them down, so that at least they are not at risk of getting hypertension? Any medication?
There are some medications that a person should take, but it's not the solution. The best solution is to go stress-free.
It's so hard to go stress-free.
You can avoid being stressed by finding someone to talk to or engaging in some extra activities so that you don't think about those things. And by the way, the fuel prices that are going high, I think I was talking to my colleague today and I said, I think we have to find alternative of how we are going to go from point A to point B. Because if the fuel keeps rising, you can't waste money in the fuel. Instead of, we have to find an alternative of going to.
I don't know, let's wait and see what the government of Uganda will do for us this time, because we are now shooting to 7,000. But anyway, going back to hypertension, what are the risk factors involved with hypertension? If there is someone out there who has hypertension, what are the consequences that might come with this?
The symptoms.
What will happen if you have high blood pressure? What are some of those consequences? Let's say, yes, people do die due to hypertension. About 700 million people in the world have hypertension and at a risk of actually dying due to it. So how can someone avoid it so that they can avoid the consequences that come with hypertension?
Some of the things that you can do to avoid it, or if you already have it, is to go to the doctor and find out what he can do for you. It's usually something they test. With the medical people test you and then give you medicines. But if you are not already on it, you can eat healthy, do exercises, and then maintain weight and avoid drinking excessively and not smoking.
Okay, and here at Noland, Uganda, is there anything that you would give someone who has hypertension?
Yeah, we have supplements that can help you live a balanced life.
A balanced life when you already have the hypertension, or for prevention purposes?
We have both. We have both for prevention, and we have others for treating if you're already there.
So, Ms. Peace, as a health consultant, we'd love to know from you, what are those signs and symptoms of hypertension?
Usually there are no signs, there are no symptoms with high blood pressure, but oftentimes it is, if it's untreated, it can cause a lot of problems, like stroke, such as health disease, or heart problems. So there are no symptoms, so it's good once in a while.
So you wouldn't know. How does someone know that, I think, or maybe suspect that you might be having high blood pressure?
You only have to know when you go to your doctor. So it's very good for people to keep going for checkups, to check up and find out if it has gone up or it is low. Then they treat you.
In this economy, it may not be easy for someone to go for health checkups every other day. It may not be affordable.
By the way, do you know that checking high blood pressure is free of charge?
Oh, yes, it is. But you see, when you go to some hospitals, the first thing you have to pay is for consultation. I think they call it consultation fee. So that comes with checking your high blood pressure. It also comes with checking, I don't know, your weight and height and all that. But you have already paid some money. And for some people out there, it may not be easy to do it as often as possible. So
let me tell you a trick of how to go about it. You go to a pharmacy that has high blood pressure machine, and then you ask them, because it's free, whether you have bought any medicine or no medicine, they will take the pressure.
Really?
So just go into any pharmacy that has a high blood pressure machine and let them take your pressure.
Okay, there you have it. In case you didn't know that, you can actually walk into a pharmacy or a health center and take your high blood pressure measurements. I think now you had it from the health consultant. So as we wind up the conversation, we'd love to get your final remarks, brief overview on high blood pressure, how people can avoid it, what they can do about it, just finally.
The best way to avoid high blood pressure is do regular exercises, eat healthy, be all and about, be happy all the time, and then, avoid stressing conditions and avoid things that make you hyper, whatever you do. So even if you don't like a person, don't be with that person all the time. You can avoid that person so that you stay healthy.
You talked about people who drink a lot of alcohol. Trust me, there's so many people out there who don't know that when you consume a lot of alcohol, it can actually it can cause you to get high blood pressure. What would you tell someone out there?
It is much better not to drink, but if you like drinking, drink moderately so that you stay healthy. Because the more you drink, then it makes the blood pressure pump faster, which causes the pressure, and then you're at risk.
Okay, and there you have it. That was Mrs. Peace Chambade, a health consultant, and we are talking about the issue of high blood pressure, as well as, I mean, you can call it hypertension, which is one of the diseases or ailments that have caused about 700 million people in the world to be susceptible to it, and maybe eventually, actually, so many people have died due to hypertension. So just like you heard from her the advice, eat well. If you are not the kind of person who loves vegetables or juice, you know, and we're talking about juice that has no sugar in it, I think it's about time that you think about that, because in the long run, it will help with your life. And that is all we had for you on this segment of our Wellness, Beauty and Lifestyle. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea and don't blink.